Hey, Falcons fans! Look, I know what you're thinking. Another season, another disappointment. But what I'm about to break down for you goes way deeper than just the losses stacking up. We're talking about a crisis that's been brewing in the shadows, and it's about to explode in ways that could define this franchise for the next decade. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're gonna understand why the decisions made over the next few months aren't just important, they're everything. And trust me, the names I'm about to drop, they're the ones keeping Arthur blank up at night. But here's the deal, this information is too explosive to let slip through your fingers. If you're a true Falcons fan who refuses to be left in the dark while this franchise makes moves that'll echo for years, then you need to act right now. Hit that subscribe button like your fandom depends on it, because honestly, it does. Ring that bell so you're the first to know when I drop the next bombshell about what's really happening in Flowery Branch. We're not just talking football here, we're talking about the future of our beloved Dirty Birds. And only the real ones, the ones who rise up no matter what, will get the full inside scoop on every twist, every turn, every backroom decision that's about to reshape this team. So what's it gonna be? Are you in or are you out? Subscribe now, drop a comment telling me you're ready for the truth, and let's expose this crisis together. Alright Falcons Nation, let's cut through the noise. While everyone's been focused on the 4-8 record and the absolute circus that's become our quarterback situation, there's a ticking time bomb in Flowery Branch that nobody wants to talk about. And I'm not talking about another L on the schedule, I'm talking about money. Cold, hard, cap space. Or should I say, the lack of it. Here's the reality check nobody wanted. The Atlanta Falcons have less than $3 million in cap space right now. $3 million. You know what that gets you in today's NFL? Absolutely nothing. That's barely enough to sign practice squad guys, let alone build a championship roster. And here's where it gets really uncomfortable. We've got two generational talents, two absolute cornerstones of this franchise who need to get paid. Like, paid. We're talking mega deals that could reshape the entire financial landscape of this team. But with Terry Fontenot at the helm of these negotiations, man, I'm not sleeping well at night. The price of greatness. Let me paint you a picture. Our young superstar receiver, he's about to command north of $35 million per season. That's not a typo. That's the market. That's what elite talent costs in this league. And our dynamic playmaker in the backfield, he's on track to become one of the highest paid at his position in NFL history. Now, any other team with competent cap management? They'd figure it out. They'd find a way. But here's the thing that should have every Falcons fan absolutely terrified. We're not any other team. We're a team that's been hemorrhaging cap space like it's going out of style, and the architect of this disaster is the same guy who's supposed to fix it. Think about that for a second. The man who put us in this hole is the same one we're trusting to dig us out. Does that make sense to anybody? But wait, it gets worse. So much worse. This spring, we're looking at 5 key players hitting free agency. We're talking about players who have been integral to what little success we've had. Our linebacker who's been an absolute beast. Our tight end who was supposed to be the next big thing. Defensive pieces that, whether you love them or hate them, have been part of the foundation. And here's the kicker, the longer we wait to lock down our young stars, the more expensive they become. Every single game they ball out, that's more zeros on the contract. Every highlight play, that's another million on the price tag. It's like watching a financial train wreck in slow motion, and we're all just standing on the tracks. The idea of using the franchise tag? That's just delaying the inevitable. That's not a solution, that's a band-aid on a bullet wound. Eventually, you've got to pay the man. And when that day comes, it's gonna hurt even more. Now, let's talk about the absolute albatross that's eating up the majority of our cap space. You know who I'm talking about. The veteran signal caller who's commanding $180 million and delivering what can only be described as just adequate performance. Look, I'm not here to trash the guy. He's been a professional. He's been serviceable. But serviceable doesn't win championships. serviceable doesn't justify that kind of money. And here's the really uncomfortable part, our young quarterback, the one we drafted to be the future, he's dealing with injury concerns that could keep him sidelined for significant time in 2026. So now we're stuck. Do we eat the massive dead cap hit and move on? Do we keep paying premium money for average results? And if we do make a change, how do we find a short-term insurance policy when we've got no money to work with? It's a nightmare scenario with no good answers. Just varying degrees of bad. Here's where this story takes its darkest turn. If the veteran quarterback gets cut, and let's be real, that's looking more likely by the day, he won't be the only one heading to the unemployment line. We're looking at a bloodbath. Fan favorites, veteran leaders, guys who have given everything to this organization, they're all on the chopping block. Our speedy receiver who's been a consistent target, probably gone. Our veteran offensive lineman who's been protecting quarterbacks since before some of our rookies were born, he's not safe either. This isn't going to be a surgical trim, this is going to be a massacre. And the most frustrating part? All of this, every single bit of this financial catastrophe, could have been avoided with better planning, better foresight, better management. So let's call this what it is, the clearest, most damning indictment of our current general manager's capabilities. 5 years. 5 years of roster decisions, contract negotiations, and cap management, and this is where we are? With less than $3 million in space, franchise cornerstones potentially walking, and a roster that needs to be gutted just to get back to competitive? Even with multiple young stars on rookie deals, the most cap-friendly contracts in all of football, we're somehow still in the red. That's not bad luck. That's not circumstances beyond control. That's incompetence. Plain and simple. The 44-year-old GM's track record speaks for itself. Losing seasons, failed draft picks, and now this financial nightmare. His specialty clearly isn't contract negotiation, and at this point, you've got to wonder what exactly is his specialty. And just to add insult to injury, this Sunday, when we face off against Seattle at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 14 NFL experts have weighed in on their predictions. Want to know how many picked the Falcons? 0. That's right. Not a single expert from ESPN, NFL Network, Sports Illustrated, The Athletic, or CBS Sports believes we're walking out of our own stadium with a win. The Seahawks, sitting pretty at 9-3, are unanimous favorites against our 4-8 squad. Jeremy Fowler, Dan Graziano, Daniel Jeremiah, Pete Prisco, every single one of them sees what we all see, a team in complete disarray, both on the field and in the front office. Here's the truth that Arthur Blank needs to face. You can't ask someone to clean up a mess they created. You can't expect different results from the same leadership that got you into this disaster. And you definitely can't trust the architect of this cap crisis to suddenly develop the skills needed to navigate us through it. The pressure is mounting in ways it never has before. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore. This is about the future of this franchise. This is about whether we can keep our generational talents. This is about whether we can build something sustainable or if we're condemned to another decade of mediocrity. We're at a crossroads, Falcons Nation. And the decisions made in the coming months, about the GM, about the roster, about those massive contract extensions, they're gonna echo for years. The clock is ticking. Free agency is coming. Extension negotiations are looming. And every day that passes with the current regime in place is another day we risk losing the pieces that could actually make this franchise great. Arthur Blank has a decision to make. Does he stick with the status quo and hope things magically improve? Or does he acknowledge the uncomfortable truth and bring in anyone, who can actually manage a salary cap without driving the franchise into financial ruin? Because right now, we're not just losing games. We're losing our future. And that's the most uncomfortable truth of all. This is bigger than one season. This is about the next decade of Falcons football. Stay tuned, because the decisions coming this offseason, they're going to be explosive. Go Falcons!